Welcome to your EMG video instruction manual for the Archon Type B gas blowback pistol. I'm going to go over some basics in case this is your first airsoft purchase, and then we'll get into disassembly and some of the advanced features of this pistol. If you need to skip ahead to a certain part of the video, just check the description and there should be timestamps down there where you can skip to the part that you need. If you're in the United States at least, it will ship with a federally mandated orange tip. I have removed this one, and on the inside here there is threading for use with an adapter. So a standard adapter for a mock airsoft suppressor or tracer unit will work with this pistol. So first and foremost, safety first. If you're working or using an airsoft product, make sure you and everybody around you has proper eye protection. You're in a safe place. You do not want to accidentally shoot something or someone that you do not intend to shoot. Airsoft can be dangerous and it can damage soft tissues or expensive items. So again, just make sure you're very safe. So let's go over how a gas blowback pistol works. Anatomy, you have your muzzle, so this is the front of the pistol. This is the slide, this upper portion right here. And then you have your frame, the grip down here. The controls are like the trigger and the magazine release and the slide lock. We'll get into how that works here in a little bit. And you have your sights, your front sight and your rear sight. And then of course you have your magazine, which is housed inside the grip. In a gas blowback pistol, the magazine is what holds the BBs and the gas that powers the pistol. To get the magazine out of the Archon Type B, there is a magazine release right here on the left side of the pistol. If you're right-handed, you're going to go ahead and hit that with your thumb, just like that, and the magazine should come right out. Now, if you're left-handed, you can set this up to the other side, which we'll get to later in the video. So the magazine in a gas pistol is what holds your BBs and your gas. To load BBs in here, you're going to pull down on this tab. It's the follower. And then it opens up a spot right here where you can load BBs into the magazine. This holds about 15 rounds. When you're loading them in, make sure that they're stacked in a staggered pattern for the most capacity. Once you've loaded BBs in there, you're going to want to charge it with gas. There is a valve right here on the bottom of the magazine, and that is where you're going to load green gas. Green gas usually comes in a green can like this. You can also use propane with a propane adapter. You're going to want to load, or you're going to want to charge green gas into the magazine oriented like this, and you get it vertically and you press down just like that. It shouldn't hiss too much, and then when you release after about 5 seconds of filling, magazine should be full. Listen for any hissing. If there's some hissing, you can go ahead and apply some silicone oil. If it still hisses, use a valve key or a valve tool to tighten it down, and if you still have any issues, you can contact support at the number in the description. So once your magazine is loaded with BBs and gas and you're ready to fire, once again with eye protection in a safe space, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and load the magazine into the pistol, and then you're going to charge the slide or rack the slide. That can be done by either grabbing the slide up here and pulling back, grabbing the slide back here and pulling back. Any way you do it, you're going to pull back just like that, and there you can see the top of the magazine and where the BBs would be. And then when you release the slide, it should go all the way forward, that chamber's around, and now you're ready to fire. There's no manual safety on this particular pistol, so you're going to want to keep that finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Once you are ready to shoot, go ahead and pull that trigger, and what's going to happen is this top slide right here is going to reciprocate, just like that. Now it locked back, and that's because there's no BBs in the magazine. It does lock open on an empty mag. So you have a slide release right here, and once you load a new magazine in there, go ahead and push on that slide release and it lets the slide back forward. And now you're ready to keep shooting. If I hold this down, you'll notice that the slide keeps cycling just like that. So this is the slide lock right here. So those are the basics about how this gas blowback pistol functions. Let's get into some of the more advanced features. One of the cool features about this pistol is that you can swap the magazine release for left-handers. So as a right-hander, you press that button with your thumb, but as a left-hander, obviously it doesn't work from this side. Just like the real firearm, this airsoft replica can be swapped using only your magazine. Watch this. You take your magazine, you rotate it backwards, you put it into the grip, and you push a little bit extra, and you'll notice that the magazine release goes down when you do that. Once that happens, watch. I can just push from this side, and the magazine comes, or the magazine release will come right out, just like that. Pretty slick, huh? Then what you do is you just flip the pistol over, you put that magazine release in from the other side, make sure you push up on that magazine, and then when you pull the magazine out, it is ready to go for a left-hander. So now, once you put your magazine in correctly, it locks into place and it'll eject by using the button on the left side. Pretty cool, huh? So again, to swap that back, magazine goes in reverse. You'll see that the button drops, and I can push up with my finger, pull it out, and swap it over to the other side. Just like that. Done. So that's how you switch the magazine release over. Sadly, the slide release, just like that, or the slide lock, is only going to be on the left side. Now let's talk about disassembling the Archon Type B gas blowback pistol. First things first, make sure you're wearing eye protection and everybody else around you is being safe around airsoft guns. To disassemble the Archon Type B gas blowback pistol, take the magazine out, rack the slide, and then you're going to want to use a small tool to push this pin from this side, the left side, so that the pin comes out the right. I've got a small hex key right here, and I push from this side, and you'll notice that it pushes the pin out of the right side. This pin is captive, so it won't go anywhere. You don't have to worry about losing it. Then this slide comes right off the top of the frame. So there's the frame right there. I'll set that aside just like that. Now you have the slide assembly of the Archon Type B pistol. This is your hop-up adjust right here. In order to adjust your hop-up, you're going to want to use a 1.5 millimeter hex key. So I have a 1.5 millimeter driver right here. Turn it to the right. That is, if I'm looking down at it like this, turn it clockwise for more hop or counterclockwise for less hop. We'll get a better look at that here in just a little bit. To disassemble it further, you take the recoil spring out by first compressing it and then taking it out the back just like that. You're going to want to be careful that not to lose this spring right here, because it does just sit over that spring, recoil spring assembly just like that. So let's set that aside. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this falling block out. This is a very interesting pistol design in that it uses a falling block to lock the pistol in place, just like the real Archon Type B. So you just pull that, see, I just pull that straight out, just like that. So let's pull that straight out. And then you push the barrel forward a little bit. You notice that it's connected to the blowback assembly right here. That just kind of sticks together sometimes. That's because it has a good seal between the nozzle and the hop-up bucking. So you pull that barrel forward just a little bit, and then you lift it out and give you a better view of what's happening. Pull it forward, and then it tilts so that you can lift the barrel out. Now this barrel comes in two parts. It's got the outer barrel and the inner barrel, just like so. So there's a slightly better look at the hop-up assembly right here. It's a unique design. And when you put a 1.5 millimeter hex key in there and you tighten it, what's happening is it's pulling down on this yoke right here, which is applying pressure to the hop-up bucking. So once again, you go righty-tighty for more hop-up, lefty-loosey for less hop-up. And that just applies more pressure on the bucking, which gives you more hop or backspin. When you're lubricating your pistol, it is important to occasionally put a little bit of oil, silicone oil, on this part right back here, which is kind of difficult to get to. It is the cup or the seal. There it is, right there. And what you can do is just apply a little bit, just a little bit of silicone oil to that cup, and then work the blowback housing back and forth a few times and help that silicone oil spread around. Other places to lubricate on the pistol include the rails right here, because that is a high wear area. Basically anywhere you see shiny metal on a gas blowback pistol should apply a little bit of silicone oil, just a touch. And you should do that maybe every other time you disassemble the pistol or so. Other places to lubricate include the gas valve right in here, because there's a series of O-rings in there. And what you're going to do is first make sure that there is no more gas in the magazine. Is depress on this valve, just like that, and then apply a little bit, just a little bit, of silicone oil right in there and work that valve a few times. Now, if you're using green gas, it does have a little bit of lubrication included, but it's a good idea to, every once in a while, lubricate these seals. And then, of course, you can apply a drop of silicone oil to the valve right back here to just help keep things well lubricated. Those O-rings like to stay kind of wet. If you did need to remove the base plate, let's say it broke and you got a replacement, there is a little detent right down here. You just pull on that and slide the base plate off, and there's a better look at the bottom of your magazine. Screw to disassemble the magazine. And then the base plate goes back on from the back. And there we go. All right, so let's reassemble our Archon Type B pistol. And put that slide up just like that. You put the inner barrel inside of the outer barrel. Slide it into the frame like so. And then you're going to take your falling block and you're going to place it in just like that. It'll only fit in one way. If you try to put it in the other way, it won't go in all the way. You see that? So it just fits right in there. Then you take your recoil spring assembly. Make sure you don't lose this spring once again. And you're going to put it into the front, compress it, and then get it to line up just like that. So a slightly different angle on that, like this, and it just goes in just like that. You just kind of make sure it's centered, should be good. Take your frame, again it has that captured pin, and you're going to line up the rails with the slide like that, and slowly put the slide back on. Then from this side, you should be able to push this pin in. If it gets a little bit stuck, try pulling back just a little bit more. There we go. Now the pin goes all the way in. It is flush from that side now. You should cycle the action. You should cycle the slide a few times just to make sure that it works. Click. Click. Okay, that way we know it's functioning. There's no gas in my magazine. I know because I can push on the valve back here and it's not hissing. Slide locks on an empty magazine. That's good. And if you have eye protection, you can charge it up with just a little bit of gas. There we go. And it works. Quick tip about owning a gas blowback: when you're all done and you're going to put it away, it's always a good idea to store it with just a little bit of gas in the magazine. That way it keeps those O-rings nice and compressed, and it helps them not dry out and get all cracked. And you can test to see if there's gas in the magazine just by kind of trying to push on the valve back here, and if it doesn't depress, well, if you push hard enough, all the gas will leak out just like that. So once again, just a little bit of gas. Test it. Yep. Okay, it's good. Listen for any hisses. Nope, it's not leaking. Excellent. So yeah, that's just one way to keep your magazines from developing any leaks from the O-rings drying out, is just to store a little bit of green gas in the magazine there. This concludes your EMG video manual for the Archon Type B gas blowback pistol. If you have questions about something that was not covered in this video, you can reach out to us. Follow the links in the video description. Thank you for your purchase. Play hard, play safe, and have fun.